All right, the attendance tonight was 19,081, was sold out, $9 million gate. The fight of the night, Jiri versus Roundtree. Performance of the night goes to Jiri, Pereira, and Pyfer. So Jiri was in the fight of the night, performance of the night, he gets 100 grand. The other guys get 50. What's up, boys?
Dan right here.
Hi.
We got to start with the main event. I mean, Pereira was obviously one of the biggest stars in the sport, but after a performance like that, it just seems like he could really be the face of this organization at this point.
Yeah, you know, people love him. People love the way he fights, and can't be bummed out with the way he performed this evening. So
He seemed to tease that maybe he was going to call for a John Jones fight, but then kind of pulled it back after, learning about Arthur. Is him going to heavyweight something you would entertain at this point?
So today I was at work and had a bunch of meetings over there this afternoon, and I went over to the PI, and he was over in the PI. And I'm like, well, you're the last guy I expected to see here today. What are you doing here? And they were telling me, we want to fight at heavyweight. I said, how about we win tonight and focus on tonight, and then we could talk about, heavyweight. And I don't know. I don't know. There's still fights here in this division, but we'll see. I mean, this guy has been an absolute stud for us. He's on vacation in Australia, flies over and fights because, somebody fell out. He fights when he's hurt. He doesn't care. He wants to fight everybody. He wants to move up to heavyweight. He's a dream to have in this organization.
Speaking of the other fights in this division, Carlos Ulberg was in attendance. He spoke with us backstage, and he said, he wants the title shot, but he's willing to fight anybody to get it. Jiri obviously also believes he deserves the next title shot. Two great performances, I guess. Is that a Tuesday conversation, or do you already kind of know what's next for them?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things to talk about on Tuesday after tonight. Yeah.
And what did you make of Merab's performance? Pretty impressive against Cory.
So I found Merab on looking for a fight, and literally Matt Serra told me that night, this guy's going to be one of your greatest champions ever. It took me a while to see it, and a lot of other people, I think. Everybody always doubts him. Cory is a very, very fucking tough guy, and wasn't the most exciting fight of the night, but Merab dominated.
He seems to want to fight in December, to the surprise of no one. Is that something? I guess you'd entertain another short notice fight for Merab?
What did he say?
He wants to fight in December pay-per-view.
December? Yeah. There's another Tuesday conversation.
What did you make of Youssef Zalal's performance too?
Yeah, I know. We talked about him. Sucks that he didn't get any money, but looked great. Yeah.
Jiri Khalil.
We'll send him something. It won't be 50, but we'll give him something.
Jiri Khalil, that last round's got to be one of the wildest rounds you'll ever see.
Incredible. I mean, to be honest with you, as we were talking about this fight leading up to it, that's what we thought all three rounds were going to be, if it went that far.
And just last one for me. What did you make of the Patchy Mix fight? A lot of people seem to think that he had done enough to deserve the victory.
That he's what?
Daniel Cormier and a lot of other people seem to think he did enough to earn the win.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
Dana, do you think Alex's performance tonight shows how compromised he was going into the first fight? Alex Pereira's performance tonight, how it shows how hurt he was going into the first Ankalaev fight. He said that he wasn't 100%, but it seems like a different...
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to say that, and then you come in and deliver like you did tonight. Yeah, I mean, he did everything he said he was going to do, and...
What is your hesitation about him going up to heavyweight? He's mentioned it a few times in the past. He always wanted that John Jones fight, and I understand why maybe that fight wasn't appealing to you, but what is your reservations about sending him to heavyweight at this point?
Probably that he was a middleweight. He was a middleweight, and he's going to jump up 2 weight classes in the UFC. It's not like jumping up 2 weight classes in boxing. It's a big jump.
And as far as Jiri's performance...
And it's not that I have any reservations about it. I mean, the guy is he's in a division that there's still some interesting fights. I don't know. It's just I like the guy so much. We'll see. We'll have to talk about it. I just don't see why, unless he wants to retire, why throwing him in at heavyweight makes any sense. Other than I just end up saying he wants to do it so bad, I'll just say yes. I don't know.
And with Jiri, obviously, he's down 2 rounds, comes out in that 3rd round and does exactly what you want your guys to do, right? Just goes for the kill and pushes forward and forward. Do you wish more?
Jiri?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, as you started to see the body shots and the knees to the body that he was throwing, I think Khalil started to gas too. And then, once it turned into a phone booth fight, somebody was going to get clipped and knocked out.
Dinner here. Going back to Merab, he had said no one has ever got 4 title defenses in a calendar year, right? He's now tied with 7 other champions, doing it 3 times. When you go into that Tuesday meeting, would his desire to make history and do something no champion has ever done before encourage you a little bit to make that fight for him?
I don't know. What are you asking me?
He wants to make a 4th title defense in a year, which has never been done before.
Yeah, got it.
8 guys have done it 3 times, and he said he wants it to be like a personal
I love guys that want to fight all the time, especially if they're world champions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I misunderstood the question.
Okay. What were you saying to Joe Pyfer when he walked out of the cage after his win?
So, Sean and Mick and I were texting during the fight, and I said, "Why the fuck is he going for a takedown?" And Sean said, "I don't think he has a choice." And then we were going back and forth. During these fights, we act like we're fucking cornermen or something. Like we know what we're talking about. So we're going back and forth about the fight. And Pyfer's win tonight was a huge win for him. They were telling me that he was the favorite tonight. But Abus is a bad dude. He's a tough guy. And it was funny because when he finished the fight, he ran over and started screaming at Mick and Sean. And I don't know what he was yelling about or what he was saying. I texted him back and said, "Is he reading our fucking text?" So then when he came out, I was just saying, incredible fight and, massive win for you to not only beat this guy, but beat him the way you beat him.
Do you think Alex Pereira is starting to make an argument to be on the Mount Rushmore of MMA fighters, one of the true greatest ever, and losing the belt and regaining it now, something very hard to do?
Do I think he's what?
On the Mount Rushmore of MMA fighters, one of the top, 4 or 5 best to ever do this?
I mean, as you start looking at some of the guys around right now, you start looking at Islam and Alex and Merab and, these guys are doing some pretty badass things right now.
Mm-hmm. We haven't had the chance to talk to you since the Canelo-Crawford fight. I'm just curious, now that you've had a few weeks to reflect, how did you feel the event went, everything?
Yeah, it went great. I mean, the event couldn't have gone off any better than it did. It was very successful. People that were there live felt like the live event was great. The commission told us it's the best boxing event they've done in probably 2 decades, as far as the team and how smooth everything ran. Obviously, Netflix was very happy. It was as close to flawless as it could be.
What will you take away from that to try to apply going forward? Because we've heard you talk about boxing for years and the things you don't like, right? Like concerts, pacing, things like that. Did you feel all of that hit the right notes on that event?
Yeah, I think that it's no different than the UFC and Power Slap and these other things that I do. As you do, every time you do an event, the event evolves and you figure out things that can be tweaked and fixed and done better. And, we'll continue to do that over the next couple of years with boxing. Mm-hmm. And I haven't sat down. We were supposed to do it on, Thursday or Wednesday or whatever, but I've been crazy busy. But I haven't sat down and watched the event yet. We were supposed to do it this week, but I was too busy.
Okay. You had said on Logan Paul's podcast that I think it was last week or the week before you were doing a meeting with 60 of your people and people from Paramount and all that stuff to map out the next 7 years. How did those meetings?
It went great. I mean, they're all here tonight. All the CBS Paramount people are all here tonight. A lot of the people you saw sitting at the table with us were some of those executives, and the synergy between the 2 groups already is incredible. So. Yeah, we're all really excited. They're fired up about this, and just from what they're telling us they're going to do leading up to the launch, it's bigger than any group of people we've ever been with, any network. It's exciting. It's going to be fun.
do you think the first numbered event of that era, will that be on CBS, or do you think it'll be like just on Paramount Plus?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be on Paramount Plus. If I had to sit here right now and say it, Paramount Plus.
Yeah, and you have the boxing deal sorted now. Do you have any updates on the future of Contender Series? Is that one of the properties that you still have to figure out the future plans for?
No, I don't have anything on that, but yeah, nothing on that yet. We're still working on that.
Okay, and last one. There was a report from a paper or website in Hawaii after you had gone there with Max Holloway saying like UFC Hawaii talks heating up again. Is there anything to that?
What?
When you went there with Max,
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
like
yeah.
a report.
I saw Max, and what did he say?
No, it was a report from a Hawaiian outlet, and it said like UFC Hawaii talks heating up again.
I mean, we've been talking for 25 years. Lorenzo and I wanted to go to Hawaii, you know, when we first bought it. I had breakfast with the governor. You know, we're having great conversations. Love to see an arena get built over there. I told Mark Zuckerberg, you're the only billionaire without an arena. Let's get one over in Hawaii. So we'll see how it goes.
Thank you, Dana.
Yep.
Dana right here. You see, bantamweight might be one of the most competitive divisions for a long time in the UFC. When you see a guy like Merab doing what he's doing, is it easy to say that he might be the best bantamweight champion
Absolutely.
the UFC has ever had? And then secondly, to be the first one to bring it up, Conor McGregor at the White House, feels like every other day he's, you know, making some public comments saying he's negotiating directly with the White House about getting the fight. It just feels like that's, you know, the most preeminent guy. Can you just talk about where talks are about Conor's return, White House or otherwise?
We're still talking about the production and how everything's going to work at the White House. We have not started negotiating any fights for the White House yet. That won't even start till February.
And then finally,
I made it clear Conor wants to fight on that card, and you can clearly see Conor is very fired up to fight on that card, but nothing is done yet. And no fights are being negotiated with the White House.
Thank you. Final question. The UFC, on the broadcast, you did, you know, honor John Jones's brother. Have you spoken with John or sent a message, and just what did he say?
Yeah, I've talked to him a few times. I mean, most of you probably interacted at one point or another with Arthur. He was such a great guy, and you know, when somebody passes away like that in their sleep, so young, not even 40 years old yet, it's brutal. And you know, I think that the conversations I've had with John, I think he's handling it pretty well. You know, these things are never easy.
I did have one final one on a lighter note. After everything that went into Canelo Crawford, was it nicer or easier to go back to just a regular UFC pay-per-view fight week?
What does that mean?
Just, well, I'm assuming there was so much extra stuff, big boxing, Netflix, and all that, whereas UFC.
But this is what we
pay-per-view-
do. We did the Sphere. We're going to do the White House. We did. Yeah, I love that shit. Love it.
Thank you.
The answer is no.
Dana, earlier this week, you scheduled Arman Tsarukyan to fight Dan Hooker in November.
Yeah.
And will the winner of that fight become the #1 contender in the lightweight division?
Will the number of that? Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome.
Dana over here. Just shifting back over to Canelo Crawford. I know you mentioned it was a great experience for you. Did any part of that experience promoting that fight here at the Allegiant change your take on stadium events for the UFC side of things?
No.
And
I hate stadiums.
Fair enough.
But I'll tell you this, the production team did a great job of making it feel not like a stadium. The live event and especially I got a lot of good feedback from people who were there and people who are regular fans of boxing and go to boxing events. So we got a lot of good feedback from it. And like I was telling him earlier, you know, we'll just get better and better and better every time we do it.
How did that challenge compare to September the year prior doing Noche at the Sphere?
What's that? You know, they're all different in their own ways. Noche was really expensive, and you had to get a lot of really technical shit that not a lot of people know how to do done in a very short amount of time. So when you think about it, we did Noche as a sports organization. I thought after we did it, people would all be trying to do it. Nobody's fucking trying to do that. You notice that? The answer to that, and the reason that is because It's very complicated to do, and it's very expensive. We're literally the only ones that have done it.
For sure. Last one for me. Alex Pereira was seen once again grabbing his toe there at the end. Did you catch that by any chance?
Did you see Alex grabbing his toe?
Huh? What's that? Yeah. He definitely either dislocated or broke his toes or something. I don't know that for a fact, but I saw what all of you saw, and it definitely looked like he fucked his toes up.
Right.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Dana, how's it going? I know you have like thousands of questions about the White House. Do you think it's going to be possible to add Alex fight and Jiri fight at the White House card? And another one, what do you think about the Magomed? It's not the best performance. What he needs to do to get back to the title shot?
Hit me with that one. Wasn't his best performance? I agree with you, sir. I mean, I don't know what else to say to you other than that. You know, he had a rough night, and then I think that. So if you look at what we're looking down the barrel of right now, we're about to go on a new network on Paramount, and we need to deliver a massive, incredible card in January, and then in February we'll start looking at building the White House card, which I will right now tell you will be the greatest fight card ever assembled in the history of definitely this company. So I don't know if I answered your questions, but.
So we can expect Alex and Jiri fight in the White House card, right?
Sure. Run that. That's your headline, yeah. That's what I said.
Dana, there's been a lot of European stars rising in the UFC. Could we see the UFC going back to a Scandinavian country next year, perhaps like Sweden?
Go back to Sweden?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we could end up anywhere next year. But yes, I mean, Sweden was we always had a great time over there. The events would sell out, and the energy was great. Obviously, very educated fans. I don't eat McDonald's, but they got a really cool McDonald's over there, too. It's like a 3-story McDonald's. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's awesome. So that's the only restaurant that would be open by the time we get out of the fights, and the place would be packed. Yeah, I love Sweden. The answer is yes.
Sounds like a plan. And one last question for me. Arman Sarukian and Dan Hooker, they said they need security to hold them back because if they see each other before the fight, they're going to start a brawl. Are we going to have that extra security to protect this main event?
I mean, every weekend when we do these things, there's all kinds of crazy shit that happens, and there's just the shit that happens at the PI. I mean, imagine the people that run into each other over there all the time. It's part of the business, and, you know, we don't beef up any extra security because we think guys are talking shit. It's part of the business.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
Sorry, just one more, Dana. When you say things like it's going to be the greatest fight card ever assembled, our imaginations run wild, right? And one of the things people have been wondering about is Ronda Rousey. She posted like she's finding her love for MMA again and training hard. Have you talked to her? Does she have any desire to return to the UFC?
Yeah, her and I are still very close, and we talk. You know, I would say we probably talk once every 3 months or something like that. And she was in Vegas recently. And she came by the offices, but yeah, I don't know what her plans are. I think she's just training again.
Okay. Would you throw out a feeler and see if she would be interested in that?
No, I mean, she just had 3 babies, and she's in a whole nother place in her life. But I will say this, she just had another baby, and she's in great shape right now. I mean, she's friggin' ripped like she used to be. So I don't know.
Thank you.
Yep. Good. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.